You kidding?
In contention.
A dominating car, and then all of a sudden now
In contention for a possible 6th win, and the motor let
No.
go. Laid down, and it popped. There was a lot of smoke, and unfortunately, it ended her night early, so she finished 5th. Our 4th place finisher in the Hornets, Mr. McLean Bedoin.
Now I haven't heard that name yet.
Yeah, you have.
Have I?
He's the 10-year-old.
Oh, that's right.
He was racing on the last day that he would be 10 years old. His birthday was the next day, so he's actually 11 now.
No kidding.
But he finished 4th. A good run for the youngster in the number 17. Our 3rd place finisher was Devin Traslavina in the 21T.
Good deal, man.
And he was fast.
10
now, this
years
is a guy,
old, though.
Yeah. Yeah. For little McLean, and you talk to that kid, and I mean, he's no bigger than a minute. He just looks so tiny in
That's
that
like
car.
Lane Taylor.
Yeah, it's one of the same deal. But
It literally, he cannot see over our finish line graphics victory
Yeah.
lane poster. It's awesome.
But, these kids are coming up, and they're coming quick. Devin Traslavini was 3rd. Our 2nd place driver, we talked about him earlier, Matthew Drager in the 44 Amco truck, finished 2nd. And I'll tell you, he had his hands full. He earned that one. I mean, he pushed that truck to the limit, I'll tell you that. A couple times I thought she was going to get away from him, but he held on, kept her pointing in the right direction, and finished a strong 2nd. And the winner puts himself tied at the top of the list for wins in the season, Tracy Muse in the M16.
There you go, man.
5th win of the season, and stretches his points lead.
Well, yeah.
Time's running out. If Rowe's going to catch him, it's going to take.
So what is it going to take? I mean, have you heard any word on the motor issue? I mean, they're going to get another
Did
one?
not hear what happened, but I'll tell you right now that Amco gang out of Corvallis, Potter and McCombs and McJunkin, those guys there, that's a good crew. I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was already a new motor in that car ready to race. That crew gets down. That's how they roll.
No kidding.
They're on the ball. But, I'm sure we'll see Rowe. She's still racing for the championship. She's not out of it yet. But this last Saturday didn't help her.
And that's the thing, too, is that,
And who knows how bad it really was.
Well, it's just like, it's like the points steal up there with Craig Castle, Bubba Foster.
Right.
Having the right front, shape.
At this point, every point matters.
Absolutely. And then 14 markers out, and then only finish in 38 in the second main, and having Bubba Foster finish both mains. I'm not a mathematician yet, but I believe the points have changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's one of those deals. I mean, and every point matters right now. But those guys are so good.
Mm-hmm.
And this deal here is one of those deals where it only takes one race.
Oh, and that's the thing too. Absolutely.
If Tracy Muse goes out and pops in qualifying and can't start any of the races, and she gains that much, gets it back, you don't know, and that's
right.
why you run every lap. That's why you race every race. It's going to be interesting. We're in that point of the season now where points championships are beyond shaping up. Now they're heated.
And see, that's the thing too, is that, man, I'm not a huge. Not that I'm not a fan of points racing, but that's where you get into the competition of you don't want to, get into somebody, or you don't want to drive as hard as that you should, or anything else, and that's not how I've ever raced.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that. I've points raced. I mean, I got 7 CKA championships underneath my belt through the years, and all that. But I mean, I've never just focused. I've got halfway through the season, went, oh wow, we're doing pretty good in points. Well, let's points race.
Mm-hmm.
But I always go into a race where like that, I race to win, and that's the thing, is that if you don't go out there to race to win, it's like, oh well, a second's good enough for tonight because that's a good points night. Well, that's not how I think.
A lot of racers don't think like that. When you're racing, you're racing
to win, yeah.
But
once it gets down to
it's at that point of the year
the
where
season.
You've got, if you got to finish first you have to finish.
That's right.
That goes back to that old principle, and it'll be interesting to see what happens at both tracks during the, because there's no clear-cut champion yet.
And see, that's the thing too, is that because it is halfway, you just don't know. I mean,
coming into that race, going into last week at Saturday at Willamette Speedway, The top three late model drivers were separated by 55 points.
55?
55. Now, the top two were separated by 54. Second to third is 1 point.
Really?
That was going into last Saturday. Okay? Now, and the modifieds, listen to this. The top 10 are only separated by 86 points.
The top 10
are separated by 86 points.
Wow.
Kyle Yack going in was the leader by 22 points. Okay, that being said, this is going to be a strong finish because you've got McCombs 22 points back, Weinbarger 28 points back, Ron Berry 43 back, Ferrando 60, Potter 62, Ethan Lander 67, Campo 68, Matthew Dreger 75, and Tony Breakall 86. That's your top 10 in modified points. 10 cars separated by 86 points.
So you want to hear?
That's anybody's point right now.
Absolutely.
That's anybody's championship now. And you look at the Super Sports going into Saturday night. Randy Barley, and that gap has been closing lately, had an 87-point advantage over Brian Thompson. Now, Thompson finished third, and Barley was multiple laps down. So Thompson made up some ground on him. Definitely didn't make up all 87 points, but with the Twin 50s coming up, that's going to be a huge deal on what happens in this race.
Double points, double pay.
Right.
I mean, well, it's just like up there, this last week. Listen to this. Budweiser IMC Modifieds coming into the weekend after 7 features. The only 2 that have had the 7 features is the front 2, and that's Bubba Foster and Craig Castle. Craig Castle came in as a leader, was 14 markers behind. Bubba Foster was 14 markers. Check this out. The person who wasn't there, Rob Ireland, in the 8 car.
Wow.
He's 24 points behind. Check out who's in 4th in points. A lot of people say, I mean, you look at this young lady, Christy Summers, 4th in points, 69 points back. Top 5 was Kenny Miller, 75 points back. Kenny Miller had a bad points night because he broke 16 laps into the first feature, didn't race the rest of the night. Rob Ireland didn't even show up. That's a bad points night.
Yeah.
I asked and have no clue why he'd never showed up.
So I want to tell you, we just got a message from one of our weekly listeners, Otto Baldwin, sending us a text. Now, I didn't know this, but what happened to Barley was he spun a drive hub on the left rear. So that right there will tell you that, without that drive hub, on the outside, working only on that right rear tire, that's, not good. So that's what caused his night was a drive hub. The drive flange off the quick change.
Well, now I do remember. Okay, Craig Castle. Okay, God, why did I even remember this? It's probably because I'm tired. So listen to this. You talk about why Craig Castle didn't finish the night. Was running third. Okay, and was coming out of turn number 4 on a restart. Made 1 lap, came back around or like that, dropped a drive line.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
So when I say dropped a drive line, it ripped. I believe it ripped the J-bar mount out. It ripped the drive line out. It ripped, something else or like that. He actually put it. Let me see if I can.
Did some heavy damage.
Did some heavy damage. Let me see if I can actually get on to.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to take a quick second just to talk about Doc's Photos from Doc'sPhotos.com. I mean, these guys, Doc. I don't mean these guys.
Doc's cool, man.
Doc,
I love his photos.
What a character. But yeah, that is a guy. You want to talk about some photos. This guy gets down in the heat of the action. I mean, there'll be cars coming at him after they're spinning. He's snapping pictures. I don't know how he does what he does. He's a brave soul indeed. But you want to get some pictures of your favorite drivers at Willamette Speedway. Check out Doc'sPhotos.com. He's the official photographer of Willamette and Moxie Media Promotions. He former modified driver on the asphalt, super modifieds, sprint cars, street stocks. The guy's kind of done a little bit of everything in racing. But definitely one of the guys you want to get a hold of if you want to put together sponsorship packages for the 2017 season. He's got some photos that I'll tell you right now. If you've been to Willamette Speedway, you might want to include some of those photos in your proposals because, I mean, he's got it. He's not There's no favoritism with him. If there's
Oh
a
no,
car
not at
at
all.
the track,
But he's great at what he does.
He is very, very talented photographer, and that's not knocking the rest of the guys from the Northwest, but there's a reason that we use a lot of Doc's photos on Moxie.
So I just pulled up Craig's post. This is from Craig Castle's official motorsports page. It says to say it was a rough night is putting it mildly. Started 7th and got caught up in a wreck running 4th early in feature 1 when the car running 2nd happened to be Kenny Miller. Spun in front of the field. Had to replace the right front ball joint, spindle, and shock. Finished 14th. Started 8th in feature number 2, drove up to 4th, and was all over the 2nd, 3rd, who ran side by side for I don't know how long. And they ran. I mean, it was probably at least 8 laps that they're running side by side. He just couldn't get around him. And Craig was so patient and stuff, and didn't. He tried to press the issue, but he didn't because he knew, I mean, he's not that type of driver. He's not going to just go in and blast you or like that, move you up into the field. I mean, if it was like 2 laps to go and 1,000 to win, he might let you know he's there, but he's not gonna destroy your stuff or his or anything like that. It says, just being patient, waiting for a hole. Then the pole bar mount broke out of the frame and spit out the drive on, which let the rear end rotate and break the quick change cover.
Oh man. Spendy little deal there.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Finished 11th. The car was awesome all night. Not sure if anything else was hurt, but a lot of people came to his rescue. Left Coast came to his rescue. A bunch of guys and stuff down here came to his rescue.
Yeah, that's the racing community here in the Northwest. It's a tight family. In the Northwest, we have an awesome community of racers that will help each other on and off the track.
Right.
Well, mostly off the track, but that's how it goes. Yeah, it's too bad because that's a spendy incident for him.
Well, and it's a thing too is that when something like that happens, I mean, it's just like having a fast car and then spinning and then backing it up over a tire, and having Miller's oil pan, Castle's right front.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened to Jerry Schramm's car with Walters driving it? I know when he came out for the second feature, he didn't even make a lap either because no, actually he came out to test it, and during practice to try to see if it was working well like that, came out of turn 4 and just tons and tons of sparks. So something broke, something significantly broke underneath that car. Didn't even make a lap.
Yeah. Well,
just just one of those deals. It sucks, but
it does suck. I mean, as a racer, as a fan, every car's got a fan in the stands, and they don't want to see their cars do that. They're fans. No, the fans don't want to see their favorite car do that. But
that's
what
right.
I'm trying to say. I'm getting tired of myself. Hey, listen, I want to talk about a couple things. I want to throw some birthdays out there.
All right. Well, it's not my birthday yet, but hey, we can throw some out.
You'll know some of these names. Today's Darren Markham's birthday.
Happy birthday, Darren Markham.
Yeah, Darren Markham. We've had some good battles on the track in the karting ranks in the KT heavy class. Darren's a guy that'll go side by side with you, and he's fun to run. So
does he still? I mean, he still has a cane and all that type of stuff. And
no, that's not Darren. That's his crew chief.
That's his crew chief.
Yeah, Darren's Big Darren.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's
so So Darren's happy birthday to Darren. Kyle Maynard.
Kyle Maynard.
Yeah.
That little
Kyle
turd.
Maynard is his birthday today.
Happy birthday,
happy
Kyle.
birthday, Kyle, and Eric Luckman down in the Coos Bay area, late model driver.
There you go.
Want to wish Eric a happy birthday as well, and
I like Luckman.
talk
He's
about
cool.
some. Let's talk about some upcoming events here because I know that Willamette Speedway has got. We've talked about the Twin 50s for the Super Sports, which is going to be kind of the feature deal of the night. That being said, we've got a big thing going on for the fans, courtesy of Crocker's Cars and Not Home Market. If you have anything like the shirts we threw out that says Crocker's Cars or Not Hole, or you want to make something, a shirt, a hat, a headband, wristbands, put Crocker's down the front of your pants, Not Hole down the other leg, whatever it is, you're going to get a free ticket. Okay? Now, these tickets are courtesy of, again, Crocker's Cars and Not Hole Market. You're going to get one free ticket. We're going to put that ticket in a box. We're going to mix them all up, and we're going to draw 5. 5 lucky fans in the stands are going to walk out of Willamette Speedway.
Can I set a picture down?
Big screen, HD, TVs.
Can I send a picture?
Yeah, I'll talk to the officials of this situation, but I think nope, because it says in the rules